Hi everybody, welcome to the Manifold channel. Today we're going to learn how quick and easy it is to connect to a database from Manifold Viewer, and we're also going to learn how to save that connection as a favorite so that the next time we launch Manifold Viewer and we want to get back to that database, we can connect to it with a single click. People think that because Viewer is read-only we can't do such things, but in fact we can. We can save frequently used connections as favorites. So let's start right from the beginning. File, Create. We're going to create a new data source, and I'm going to go straight to the Favorites dialog to create it as a favorite. Where here here you see a list of built-in favorites, and here I'm going to click Add to create a new data source. And we're going to connect to Postgres database. So I'll call it Postgres to jog my memory. And here in Type, we choose from one of the zillions of types of data connections and data source that Manifold knows. That we're going to connect to a database, Postgres SQL database. And here for the source, I'm going to connect to the server. I'm going to use a IP address, and we'll use a login and password. The login is admin. Password is 12345, an extra high security password for use on internet. And the database we'll call is test, I believe is in that server. I'll click OK, and if I like everything I see here, I click Add Favorite Data Source, and there we've done it. Now, the actual Postgres server that we're going to connect to is not that one, because that's something that our IP people would not like me to display over the entire internet. So let's delete this data source. We can edit any of these by control-clicking them to select them and choosing Delete. So I'll do that, and I'll move this dialog out of the way here, out of sight, so I can enter the password and so forth without broadcasting it to everybody on the web. And we'll call this Postgres. Again, it remembers the previous type that was used, so that's already in that box. I choose a server name. I'll move that out of sight also. And I have to give it a login name, which is not the login and password that I showed earlier. It's a different one. And the database is okay, so I'm going to click the test button on the database login. Connection established. That means I actually managed to type the login and the password right. Click OK. And then in the new data source dialog, I click Add Favorite Data Source. And there I've created the Postgres data source, and I'm going to click OK. And now it's part of my favorites. Now the next time, whether I right-click and choose Create here and choose New Data Source, you'll see it there in the favorites list. Or if I click here, File, Create, New Data Source, it'll be there. With one click, we open up that database connection, and we're here in the Postgres server. And this is the same Postgres server that was used in the Australia Hydro demo, and it's loaded with a lot of various drawings. Postgres is a nice, fast, spiffy database. You can see drawings, you can see tables, you can see images, you can do all sorts of wonderful stuff. It's one of my two favorites. I use Postgres a lot and MySQL as well. Here's the lakes drawing, which is all the lakes in Australia that we use as part of the demo. And as you can see, Postgres has really excellent performance. Now what's cool about this is that if I click File, New, and we open up a new project, the favorite is still in there. New data source, and there it is, Postgres. Launch it one more time. And now let's close Viewer. Exit Viewer, exit application, yeah, sure. And let's launch Viewer again. So let's say we've gone away for a couple weeks, and now we want to connect back to that database again. It's still in there in the favorites list until we edit the favorites list to remove it. File, Create, New Data Source, and bang, with a single click we're back into Postgres, and we're back in that database. And you're not limited to creating just one favorite. You can create dozens of favorites if you want. It's easy to do. And you're not limited just to creating a database connection. So we can connect to stuff other than Postgres. We can connect to Oracle or MySQL or SQL Server, whatever it is that we want to do. We can connect to MDB files. We can link in Manifold files. And we'll take a look at how to do some of that stuff in a different video. But for right now, I wanted to show you how easy it is to connect to database, number one. And number two, how you can save that as a favorite, so that the next time you want to connect to that database, you don't have to re-enter those credentials, again and again with passwords and all that, because sometimes these passwords can get really long, especially if people use 16-character passwords and so forth. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Download Viewer and give it a try. Manifold Viewer is completely free. There's no strings attached. You don't have to register. There's no tracking. There's no ads. There's no selling. There's no request for donations. If you want, you can make copies of Viewer and give it to your friends. You can put it on your website for redistribution. So it's a very convenient, free tool that is just absolutely spectacularly powerful in terms of connecting to lots of data sources and being able to do analytics. And again, like I say, no strings attached. Once more, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and goodbye from Manifold Land. Well, that was fun. If you want to see more, visit us at www.manifold.net. As always, Manifold delivers the world's most advanced, highest quality spatial products for GIS and DBMS at a low price that you can afford. Once again, that's manifold.net. See you soon.